Welcome to the 38th annual meeting of the members and constituents of the World Economic Forum. Our theme is the power of collaborative innovation. We need more collaboration in the world. We need more creativity and more innovations in the world.
The spirit of Davos is about extending to others, listening to the diversity of the world, listening to the diversity of ideas, learn from it, and give as much as you can.
The real spirit for me is the nature of the dialogue, the ability to not just project but to listen, to take in things that you have never heard about before.
It's not only the big names you meet. I find it always very interesting to meet people who might be the next big thing.
I think the World Economic Forum allows you in a very short period of time to not only meet some of the most influential and interesting people in the world, but also to confront ideas, trends, to challenge your own beliefs.
I want to see and understand how Europe and America are resolving challenges around technology, renewable energy, climate change, so that in Africa we can do better.
I want to applaud you for everything that you've done to put this World Economic Forum together and to make it a place where people come to share ideas, and ideas that can indeed lead to a better world.
Davos has a spirit of openness and also adventure, trying to reach out.
We're living in a phenomenal age. If we can spend the early decades of the 21st century finding approaches that meet the needs of the poor in ways that generate profits and recognitions for business, we will have found a sustainable way to reduce poverty in the world.
If societies succeed, companies succeed. We all act in enlightened self-interest, and so it's critically important that partnerships work. But for partnerships to work, governments have to accept that private sector is a force for good in society, and that we want to be good, not just in the commercial sense, but in the moral sense too. And if there's a real partnership, I think we can make music.
One of the most important development lessons that we have learned over the past decades is that governments cannot do it alone. We are realizing that we need companies not just for their resources, but for their resourcefulness, for their ability to give good ideas, inject talent and skill, and maximize efficiency.
Davos is very important because now I can talk to other folks that do similar things, such as large organizations like Intel, Google, and how are they going into help environmentally as well as educationally. So I think Davos has provided a good forum to exchange ideas as what has worked and what has not worked, and how we can serve the communities that we work in and certainly expand in to help the people of those areas.
The World Economic Forum has in recent years come to be regarded as the forum for regular checkup of the overall state of global political, economic and social systems. Global environmental issues have now gone beyond the discussion stage to become real problems with significant effects on our day-to-day lives and economic activities. This constitutes a major new challenge for humanity, as we could be courting catastrophe in both the natural environment and our socioeconomic activities if we stand by and do nothing.
This is a planetary emergency. There has never been anything remotely like it in the entire history of human civilization. We are putting at risk all of human civilization. It is difficult to summon the moral imagination necessary to understand the degree of responsibility that is on the shoulders of those of us who are alive in this day and time.
I would like to see a much broader and more aggressive focus on energy efficiency, which I think is absolutely essential if we're going to meet the needs of the globe going forward.
Last year, the World Economic Forum made global warming our main theme. Now, you are turning your attention to water, and I welcome this. The notion of water sustainability, in a broad sense, has not been seriously examined. Our experiences tell us that Environmental stress due to lack of water may lead to conflict, and it will be greater in poor nations. Water is running out.
There is an absolute need that water gets again a price. We're talking about the water that we are using for agriculture, we're talking about the water we are using in the industry, we're talking about the water we are using to fill up our swimming pool and wash our cars. They need to have a price. The Sea Water Mandate, which is just here, and I mean you can get it when you're going out there, is just a commitment. And it's a commitment of your company, it's a commitment also of yourself as the CEO, that you are willing to do something to help to overcome the problem of the water.
This planet is fragile and it's vulnerable, and Davos is the place where we all get together and integrate our knowledge to provide solutions. Yes, raise awareness, but provide solutions.
The hard reality of global warming is a wake-up call for all of us. We in China are ready to work with the international community to address these risks and meet these challenges and contribute to economic stability and sustainable development in the world.
The development goals can be reached. There are enough resources in the world today, several times over, to ensure that the objectives are met.
Increase the partnerships, back success. Education is absolutely critical, and we could actually achieve our Millennium Development Goals if we worked hard, and I hope the private sector and the charitable sector will be involved as well. Back the women leaders that are developing, and back those governments that are operating in a transparent and open way.
The workspace environment experience is totally different from the usual panels and plenaries in Davos. You begin to see how people come together, how their different skills come together, how collaboration of ideas, one builds on top of the other, and that I think is encouraging for real life, people to think back and say, well, maybe it is possible to explore some out-of-the-way thinking.
The Davos Conversation is the World Economic Forum's initiative to bring Davos to the world. It's their means of getting people around the world to engage with Davos in a more meaningful way. And YouTube forms a part of that. We've asked people from around the world in the last month or so to give us their opinion, their answer to the Davos question, which is what one thing can people or corporations or companies do to change the world in 2008.
There's something here for everyone, but you also learn that there are things that you might not have initially appreciated were relevant to you, and suddenly you discover something that helps your own learning and hopefully will help your organization be a better organization when you go back home.
A good time just to cut off your mobile for 1 or 2 days and to think a little bit more strategic than probably in the everyday life.
I think Davos is really creating the right environment for people to discuss real issues.
It's not just business leaders talking to each other or politicians talking to each other, but you have civil society, government, and business together, and that is very fruitful for discussion.
The problems are complex. We can't solve them in one weekend on a mountaintop. But what we can do is to talk over them, understand each other, and through this mutual understanding, gradually, I think we can make progress.
The spirit of Davos is looking to the future, not only solving problems, but finding new opportunities to pursue. It brings out the best in human nature.
I'd like to see us get the climate change deal or the framework of it. I'd like to see the world recommit to the Millennium Development Goals in a big, big way, and I totally agree with you about education and the importance of it. We could do it, it would make a huge difference. And the third thing is, yes, my own responsibility, I would like to see an agreement that gives us the prospect of a lasting peace between Israel and Palestine, because I do think that would be the greatest signal of reconciliation with which the 21st century could start.
The Davos man and woman is aware of all the challenges.
and in a pragmatic way, they do whatever they can to mitigate the risks and to address the challenges. But at the same time, the Davos man and woman is the person who also sees the opportunities in our world. And you have been formidable Davos men and women. Thank you.